You are now listening to Out of the Blank.
Welcome to another episode of Out of the Blank podcast. I'm here with Jason Eyanson.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going, Jason. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and if you want what you do professionally or just whatever you're interested in?
Yeah. So, live in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and been pretty much around here all my life. And besides college, of course, professionally, right now, am me, my wife, and some friends. We own a little ice cream shop in which I pretty much do I do all the operations of that.
Well, I gotta
Um,
ask. When we say ice cream shop, are we talking about? Do you work on like a dairy farm? Because I've been to a couple ice cream places that actually run on a dairy farm.
no, actually, we are in right next to like downtown Fort Wayne, Indiana, and uh, we're just a small little shop. We have one ice cream maker machine, and yeah, we just crank out ice cream.
Well, what we say one ice cream maker machine. Can you tell me a little bit about what the machine is? Because I'm pretty sure every kid out there, like myself at one point, got an ice cream maker maybe for Christmas or snow cone maker. And honestly, the thing was a hunk of shit. I mean, I don't want to put it so lightly, but literally trying to make ice cream on that thing. I mean, it wasn't, I wouldn't even call that ice cream.
Yeah, so basically, you take that little ice cream maker, and the one that we have, it's commercial grade. So I mean, it's basically an ice cream machine on steroids, and it is probably the heaviest thing that I have ever tried to move. Um,
So we're talking about the Macho Man Randy Savage of ice cream makers. But that brings into a big question though. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? We all got one.
oh wow.
All right, hold on. Let me ask you, what is your favorite ice cream flavor as a kid, and then what is the one now? Because when I was a kid, it was chocolate, and then like as I got older, it just evolved into something completely different. Like I'll take a nice like a mocha, or I'll take a cookies and cream, bro. Chocolate chip cookie dough will blow your mind out of the world.
Yeah, so as a kid, it's probably gonna be Superman ice cream.
Superman ice cream.
I don't know if they have it everywhere, but I know like Midwest, it's pretty big, and it's basically like a lemon, raspberry, blueberry like mixture flavor, and it's red, yellow, and blue, so it kind of goes off the Superman colors.
Immediately you said Superman ice cream, I was thinking somebody put, like, chunks of kryptonite in it or something, where, like, you bite into it and break, like, half of your dentures or something. Well, I mean, what do you prefer, though? Do you prefer regular, like, ice cream, like, in a bowl? Like, do you prefer the Superman ice cream in the bowl, or do you prefer a milkshake? Because, dude, there are times where, like, a nice thick milkshake is, like, where it's at.
Yeah, there's definitely times that milkshakes, especially if you're going to go mobile, walking around, milkshakes the way to go. I would say cone.
I always found those kind of to be like difficult to deal with, like because I live in Ocean City, Maryland, so we have a local attraction. It's called this boardwalk, which is basically just like 2.5 miles of nothing but like planked boards that you can walk on with like amusement rides and stuff. And I mean, anytime you go to a carnival, you get an ice cream or something on a cone, it ends up melting all over your hand. That was always the worst part about it, I
Yeah,
thought.
that is true. Um, Usually, most places I would say give you way too much ice cream, especially for a cone. I mean, if you're not going to eat it fast, then the bowl is best way to go.
Yeah, plus, like, if you've ever been to like would you say with your ice cream place it's more of like a self-serve kind of choose your own toppings as well too? I mean, any type of ice cream place I've went to, it's like you can add gummy worms, you can add chocolate chips, you can add sprinkles. I'm like, no, 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 don't put the sprinkles on there. That shit's disgusting.
Yeah, we actually take a completely opposite, approach to the way we do ice cream. So our ice cream shop, actually, we do not do any flavors at all, or not flavors. We don't do any kind of toppings. We are the mindset that we put everything in the ice cream that we want you to have. So yeah, I mean, we don't do toppings. We don't do, as of right now, we don't do milkshakes or anything like that. It's just straight up scoops.
What separates you from most of the other ice cream places out there? It seems like Cold Stone and Baskin Robbins, these places are just they dominate the market when it comes to just ice cream places in general.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, and that's the thing. Like we are always trying to find new things, new flavors and flavor combinations. Just looking around at culturally around the world, just finding different flavors that we think would be good as an ice cream.
Yeah, it seems like with the way like we've been taking cereal in general. I mean, have you seen the combinations of cereal they have, like Twinkie flavors? Yeah, that's the same thing with ice cream. It is too. And like our food in general, people have just decided to mash up a bunch of random stuff together.
Right.
I mean, back in the day, I always thought of the classics like chocolate, you get a sherbet, maybe a rainbow, then you get vanilla. Those were always the basic ones that came in like the giant containers. Now you're walking by the ice cream aisle and Ben and Jerry's just went fucking insane. Like, let me just get literally every Ben and Jerry's flavor is like if you took a bunch of ice cream developers or just a bunch of people in one room and started asking them to shout out one word responses and then they just started mashing them together like what's let's create a new ice cream flavor. What would be some good ingredients? Some guys like shark, another dude's like fish, and then another dude's like I don't know fudge, and they're like, all right, we're gonna make the chocolate fudge shark fish special. I'm like, well, holy crap, we got a new Ben and Jerry's flavor.
So we kind of go along those lines, I guess. We try to break from the traditional and try to give our customers something new. In the Midwestern culture, it's based on the past. It's you want your vanilla, you want your chocolate, you want your strawberry, um, and we do some of those, but then we do like strawberry with cookie dough. We do strawberry with Oreos. We just try to change it up for people.
Do you think has you like your store been impacted at all with the fact that people are trying to live this new healthy lifestyle? And it seems like a lot of people are becoming like lactose intolerant or lactose sensitive. So it seems like back in the day when ice cream shops were like a thing, you would go down either to a diner, get a milkshake with somebody, or you would go to the somewhere with your parents or grandparents to get a nice ice cream cone. It seems like nowadays it's transferred to like boba tea or some other health trend or something.
I would say maybe to some extent, but we actually do a lot of dairy free stuff, and we found a pretty good market around Fort Wayne, Northeast Indiana, of not necessarily dairy free, but they might be the vegan.
Like a gelato.
We don't really do gelato, but yeah, we just do like our dairy free stuff is a coconut base. So instead of like the dairy milk base, we get a coconut cream base for the ice cream. We try to replicate anything we do with the regular ice cream into a dairy free option.
Well, what's your most craziest flavor that you guys have?
So in the past year, we've done overall, I think we're over 200 flavors that we've tried.
200 flavors.
Yeah.
How I don't even think I can name that much ice cream. Like I just remember going to like Cold Stone Creamery or something, and it's like we have the chocolate, we have the double chocolate, we have the triple chocolate, we got Rocky Road, we got the fudge brownie mix with with strawberry sprinkles. I'm like, what's happening here? Like, me- remember when there was just chocolate and vanilla, and that's all you got? And then some woman in front of me was like, I was with my grandfather, and she was like, can I get a taste of the chocolate? And then she was like, can I get a sample of the double chocolate? Can I get a sample of the triple chocolate? I'm like, it's the same shit, just more. Like, just get it. Like, I mean, as a kid, like, you're basically putting as much as you possibly can on an ice cream thing. I mean, one
right?
of my most memorable moments is, going and getting those, Ben& and Jerry's. I think my favorite flavor of ice cream, was fish food, which is like chocolate fudge fish with, gooey marshmallow mixed with a drizzle of caramel and on chocolate ice cream. Like, it's not the healthiest
Oh no,
option, but damn if it wasn't good.
exactly. Um, Ice cream is not really meant to be a health snack. It's meant to be a treat. So that's what we try to focus on. Is it's a treat. Um, we do get a lot of questions about sugar free or low calorie. Um, but yeah, we don't do any of that. I mean, we go all in.
Well, it's even meant to be a celebration, especially if like you're an ice cream shop. Like whenever a little league game is won, you're a kid, your parents want to take you out and celebrate. Like, oh, hey, you got good grades. Let's go get an ice cream cone. Or hey, me and your mom are getting divorced. Let's go get an ice cream cone. It's like what? It's like ice cream's good for those situations. Like that's the perfect middle ground to find. First of all, just peace in general. Like, hey, me and your mom are going to separate, but try this caramel swirl. You're like, oh my God. Okay. Two
Yeah,
Christmases.
it's literally the treat for any occasion. Happy, you know, little league wins, breakup, good times, bad times. It's I feel like it's literally the treat that it makes you just feel better.
What types of things have you thought about creating for an ice cream flavor? Like it seems like a lot more of it has to do on the basis of not actually the ice cream, but more on the lines of adding certain things to it to spice it up. Like I've seen people crush up waffle cone and sprinkle it on top of the vanilla. I've seen a whole magnitude or whatever you want to say when it comes to the range of toppings now. I mean, back in the day it was chocolate chips, but now we're doing like peanut butter. People are doing crushed up graham cracker on top of it with mixed up, diced up marshmallows or drizzles of chocolate with jam, maybe even a drizzle of maple syrup. There's a different flavor combination when it comes to it.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the basis of what we try to do is any kind of topping that you think of that you could put on an ice cream. We try to create an ice cream out of that. So we'll do caramel swirls, we'll do maple swirls, we'll do you know a marshmallow ice cream with graham cracker and chocolate, to make the s'mores. Um, we've even done, I would say, probably our most crazy flavor, like maple syrup and bacon.
That doesn't sound like it should go on an ice cream, but I can see where it would be delicious because I'm pretty sure maple syrup and bacon are like probably the easiest and best combinations ever.
It doesn't seem like it should be. You put meat in ice cream, it just seems like a diversion from what we should be doing. But when you put it all together,
It's a freaking battle in your stomach, but I mean, the the weirdest combinations go together, and like for me, I discovered that when I went to Olive Garden one time, you might actually want to try this since you work at an ice cream place, you have the option to. The vanilla ice cream mixed with garlic breadsticks from
mm-hmm.
Olive Garden, that garlic and the vanilla that go together so perfectly. People were looking at me at the Olive Garden like this kid's fucking insane. It was so good, dude. I couldn't even describe it. They complemented each other perfectly, but it seems like really where the true key is to developing a new flavor is just being nuts and putting a bunch of stuff that doesn't seem like that really would go together
Yeah,
together. People putting kettle corn in ice cream. I mean, if you use sprinkles, I don't trust you, mostly because they just taste like little pebbles. Like if you're eating sand
yeah,
on the beach or like eating a sandwich on the beach and you get sand in your sandwich, that griddle that hits your teeth, you're like, oh God, I'm grinding my teeth down.
yeah. The sprinkles, they just kind of stick everywhere. We've actually had a few people that say they've had a garlic ice cream and that it was really good.
Well, how did you even get started into making ice cream? Like was this a dream you had, or was it just something that fell across your lap?
something that just kind of popped up. Um, for years, I worked in the fitness industry as a personal trainer, GM of a gym, local gym here in town. Um, yeah, so 11 years I did that. Was looking for a change. A friend of a friend was looking to get rid of an old ice cream place. Hey, if you're looking for something new, and what do you think about going in together and doing this ice cream shop? I said, hey, you know what? It's definitely a change. Let's see what we can do. And it just kind of all started from there and just completely snowballed into what it is right now.
I mean, it's weird to think of when you look at ice cream shops and how like big they were, like not even maybe like 10 years ago. There were like a few of them that started popping up cold stones everywhere. Like it was a huge hot trend was these ice cream shops and stuff like back in the day. But then like Dairy Queen was a big thing. Like we just had a Dairy Queen open up down here, but it was so popular, but it's not as popular in today's times, mostly because I don't know, there's just so much out there. People are trying way different things. Like I think kids are gonna miss out on sticking a French fry in your McFlurry or
Yeah,
something. Like even though McDonald's ice cream machine is basically broken 24/7, when you did get it when they first opened up, it was pretty good. They dumped like a thing of M&Ms in it. You're like, wow, I can literally taste the diabetes.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's definitely a lot of ice cream places or places that you can get ice cream, and that's kind of what went into our whole idea of what we wanted our shop to be. Something different from the norm, especially around here. You get a lot of ice cream places that are almost like 50s diner esque, very much a throwback to what ice cream was. And we wanted to kind of put out there what we thought ice cream could be.
Well, like for me and my family, like after dinner or something late at night, like I'd be at my grandparents' house and we get the blender out, you get a couple scoops of ice cream in there, you make a nice thick milkshake, like you can make a nice chocolate one, throw some chocolate chips in there. Like we're still fascinated with milkshakes. People love getting milkshakes, but it's not where you would think you would get them at. You're getting them at Starbucks, you're getting them at all these places that are supposed to be coffee shops. You're getting an ice cream like one of the places I think that's pretty good now is like Chick-fil-A. Like their milkshakes are pretty banging with the whipped cream on top, but nothing beats a classic homemade one. I mean, my one of my most favorite moments is my grandparents live out in the country of Delaware. And out there in Milford, Delaware, there's a dairy farm and they make ice cream there. It does smell like shit. I have to admit the manure is pretty intoxicating, but when you go in there and you get the ice cream, it's so creamy. It's nice and smooth. Like, I mean, Wendy's, it's super thick. It's you can't even suck it out of the straw, but a nice like one that goes right like just perfectly in your mouth and just right down the throat like it just not any bit of a struggle but just thick enough that the consistency of a milkshake it's it's I mean it's orgasmic, I'd have to say. I mean, I hate to use those words, but it's so true. We live in this like world now where like the top competitors like Cold Stone, Baskin Robbins, they capitalize on here's all the shit you can add to your ice cream flavor. It's like, what do you mean all this? Like, why are we adding gummy worms with chocolate sprinkles and gummy bears and all these Skittles and all these things? What happened to the classics? Like, ice cream shouldn't have to have much to be good.
Right? Sometimes simple is good. One or two flavors is the way to go.
Well, what's your most memorable thing that you've kind of learned or kind of had owning your own shop? I mean, it's got to be amazing. You get to eat really any of the free ice cream you want. You get to test out your flavors too.
Yeah, I mean it's been a definitely a juggling act um, between making ice cream, um, getting everything staffed, getting everything prepared for the day. Um, yeah, coming up with new flavors. What flavors should be in the case at a certain time? I'm looking for something that we've done. I would say just all the combinations that we have put together.
You get a lot of like I'm looking for a certain experience that you might have had. Like, do you have a certain memory that sticks out in your head from owning your shop, a certain day, a certain thing that came together, maybe a flavor creation. I mean, besides the dairy farm one for me, all the time back in the day, there was always like a gallon of whatever chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream in the freezer, being able to pull that down, sitting and watching some cartoons or just enjoying it in general.
Yeah, I would say we've had several people bring their kids in for their very first ice cream, and that's pretty memorable because you get to watch the kid actually taste ice cream for the first time, and you get to see their face.
You get to see their eyes light up, and then next thing you know, like 5 minutes later, they're tearing up that ice cream, and you just see the
Oh
brain
yeah,
freeze hit them, and then they start screaming. Like that is the worst pain I think I've ever experienced in my life is just the brain freeze because you're banging on the table and you're trying to like do as much as you possibly can to get it to go away. You just gotta ride it out. Well, when it comes to the worst experience, I would say that you've kind of had just with ice cream in general. Like when it comes to owning your own shop, I mean, what's one day that really sticks out in your mind as being a bad day?
honestly, I cannot think of a just like a terrible, terrible day. Yeah, because one, we're
I just try and look at well, I mean, I try and look at all like the health factors and everything that everyone's so health conscious now. It's like we're really just kind of doing all these diet trends and stuff, but we're not really enjoying any aspect of life when it comes to stuff. I mean, more people if they're going to want to go to an ice cream place like for me, I'd want to go to an ice cream place that's a family run business because I know the shit's going to be good. I don't want to go to a major company because a major company, I mean, yeah, it's quicker and yeah, it's probably still going to be good, but you get so much more satisfaction actually walking into an ice cream shop and actually enjoying the full experience rather than going through the drive-through and just getting a milkshake.
yeah, that's that kind of goes to the heart of just kind of the experience we wanted to put forward when people come in is really play on the fact that we are a small shop um, and that we do. I mean, we break from a lot of norms. If you walk into a normal ice cream shop, um, you know what they're going to have. And when people come in here, it's always different. And we don't label anything in our case because we feel that, I don't know what it is about ice cream, but we have to see it. We have to know what it looks like before we taste it.
Yeah, I would definitely not want to be blindfolded because I think the one flavor I would be afraid to try is pistachio. For some reason, that one just sticks out of my head as that's a disgusting flavor, even though a lot of people like it. But I mean, if you even walk down your grocery aisle and go into like where the freezer section is, you start seeing all the different combinations. I mean, they got birthday cake, they got mocha, they got peanut brittle, they got all these different types of flavors. One's matcha tea. I'm like, that doesn't sound delicious at all, but I guess
Yeah,
people like it. But ice cream is, it's been a popular thing in our history for a long time. On a hot summer day, you would have an ice cream cone. You go to a local whatever shop, and next thing you know, they have the ice cream machine. You get a nice soft serve ice cream or something on a cone. Get to share it with somebody. Amusement parks, they've been influenced. I don't know where we decided that ice cream was a dessert or a treat like that. I don't understand when we decided that happened. Like when people were like, when you get cupcakes for an event, it's like I like the person, but I don't like them that much. So I made a bunch of cupcakes so everybody can enjoy it. But ice cream's like, dude, have you ever had a Carvel ice cream cake? That is the bomb. You can drop that on the floor, wreck the whole entire cake in the box. You'll still open it up and take a slice.
I believe it. I've not had one. My wife is from the East Coast, so she knows exactly what you're talking about. And actually, the person that I learned to make the ice cream used to work for Carvel's.
Well, how exactly do you make the ice cream?
We get it's an ice cream base that we get shipped in, delivered here a couple times a week. It'd be a heavy cream, a sweet heavy cream, and then we just kind of use that as our canvas and say, okay, what can we make with this? And start adding the fruit, flavors, extracts, and try to create something. Yeah, we give it a taste. And if it's good enough to throw in the machine, we throw it in and see what comes out.
Do you try and experience other flavors in your area? I feel like if you're owning an ice cream shop, you want to try different combinations, maybe taking like, oh, let me try this chocolate. Maybe if I added this to it, maybe if I added that to it. Because I mean, I like condiments. I think it's pretty cool. Like if you add peanuts and stuff onto like a chocolate, you make like a nice hazelnut maybe on there as well. But it's just with all the allergic stuff that's going on now, it makes it really, really difficult. People are becoming allergic to peanuts, and then you can't do a peanut butter ice cream, which makes it kind of difficult if you're trying to incorporate Reese's into an ice cream. That's why Ben and Jerry's and all these things that you can get at like a Food Line or a Walmart or whatever are so popular and they're so easily bought because they have a wide selection of stuff than if you go to a regular mom and pop shop. You know, you go in there to go get ice cream, they got a whole bunch of flavors, but at the same time, it's just not as much as like just some massive company. But I'm like, you would enjoy it a lot more if you went to an actual shop. I mean, I feel like if you have a pint of ice cream in your freezer, yeah, it's good. But if you actually go to a store and get to actually enjoy a bowl in front of you, knowing that you can't just take that shit home because it's gonna melt, that's the best
Yeah,
part.
absolutely. I would agree with that 100%.
Well, what's your ending goal here? Like, are you trying to incorporate more shops? Or maybe, for me, I feel like your idea would best, like, instead of being in just a store location, turning it into a food truck idea. Imagine if you were serving ice cream on a food truck. Like, that, how many people you could get on that? Like, just traveling to the beach or something and just delivering ice cream. Like, back in the day, that was the thing for everybody. The ice cream man. You heard that freaking song pop on, everybody's running out in the street. Like, I wanna, what is it? One of those SpongeBob popsicles or whatever, where the eyes are always messed up and they never look like they do on the package.
Our goal this year is to expand a little bit and try to wholesale a little bit so we can actually sell to, we have a mobile tricycle that we take out, with a cooler in the front. So we take that out.
What is exactly is the worst flavor you probably sell? Like, if you had to pick one, like the one that's probably bought the least. For me, I would have to think it would be pistachio, but I feel like you have another one in
Oh
there.
yeah. So we did try, what is that, candy corn with peanuts,
Oh my God.
which, growing up, was always like a fall treat. Like we'd have candy corn with peanuts. So I tried to make a,
Oh, dude, if you eat candy corn, there's something wrong with you. I saw the best picture on the internet, and it was it was someone like how to eat candy corn in 3 steps. One, to grab the candy corn. Two, open up the bag. Three, dump it in the trash. I was like, that is perfect.
yeah, yeah, candy corn is definitely one of those things that it's a love hate. You either love it or you absolutely hate it. Um, and yeah, people did not like it too much. So we ended up throwing some of that out.
What is possibly your best combination of ice cream flavors, like your top seller? Would it be an original flavor like vanilla or chocolate, or would it be something a little bit extraordinary like Rocky Road or Moose Track?
Probably our biggest sellers. We do a salted caramel with chocolate swirl and brownie pieces. That seems to be the favorite, crowd favorite here.
Yeah, I always looked at all these ice cream flavors out there. Like there's one like cake batter, and then there's like chocolate brownie batter or uh French toast. And I'm like, how the fuck did they get that in a flavor? Like what? Like how do you get what does that mean, glazed donut? And then you take a scoop of it and you're like, that's exactly what glazed donut would taste like.
So that's it's part of the process. Like we'll start mixing things together and taste it. Like, it's not quite right. And add a little bit more until it tastes, yeah, kind of tastes like waffle.
Would you say that you do any catering events? It seems like if you were an ice cream shop, that would probably be a big prioritizing thing you would have to do, just because people have birthday parties and stuff. You could be able to show up and be like, "Hey, we're gonna get develop or deliver ice cream for your whole
Yeah,
entire
we've
family."
done several. Last year we did a birth announcement, like like gender reveal, I guess.
With ice cream? How did you do that? What was the blue ice cream if you're gonna do a boy, and then what was the pink one?
We actually had it in the shop, and instead of making two different ice creams, we just did the different sauces. We did like a pink chocolate sauce and a blue chocolate sauce. People could guess whatever they wanted.
What do you think ice cream pairs with the best? I feel like a nice like pumpkin pie and a nice like scoop of vanilla ice cream can really set the mood. Like you're
Yeah,
definitely getting laid if you pull that out of your, back pocket.
yeah. I would say pie is probably the best pairing. You get the crust, you get fruit pie, or basically any kind of pie and some kind of ice cream. It's probably the best combination.
I have no idea what those things were that they sell in like dollar stores or like little ice cream sandwiches. There's obviously the long like Oreo looking one where it looks like a
Right?
like a rectangle. There's those. But what's the cookie one? I remember going to summer camp and getting those all the time when the ice cream guy pulled up. Like, let me get that chocolate chip cookie ice cream. And they're like, oh, yeah, yeah. And they give it to you. Dude, that thing would you take one bite, half the vanilla ice cream would just drop onto your hand, but you didn't care. If it even fell on the floor, you'd end up eating it.
Yeah, I don't remember what those are called. I do remember them though.
You just say chocolate chip ice cream, and then the guy knows what you're talking about. Like, I got you,
Oh
bro.
yeah,
And then you're like, can I get an ice cream sandwich? And he pulls out that square one. You're like, no, 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 no,
no, no, no, no. Put that
no.
back.
Give me the one that looks like a chocolate chip cookie and another chocolate chip cookie, and you just shoved a bunch of vanilla ice cream in the middle. He's like, oh, I got you, bro. I got you. I was like, yeah. I mean, ice cream, they're eventful occasions. Every single birthday party when I was a kid, there was ice cream, there was there was cake, there was everything. They're amazing treats and they're delicacies too. And we look at them now like kids are doing like instead of for their birthday, they just want a nice spring roll or a nice salad or something. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Right.
whoa. This is an event. We're gonna have fun doing this. I mean, as a kid, I always just ate the ice cream, dumped chocolate syrup on top of it. But then my dad was like, why don't you just mix it up like a milkshake in the bowl? Just sit there, crush it up, and spin it around. Next thing you know, bam, you got a nice little enjoyment to it. And I started doing that. I mean, adding chocolate chips to it, adding caramel, adding, there's so many different things now that we can add to it. I mean, whipped cream, I mean, I'm pretty sure is good on anything.
Oh, absolutely. You can yeah, mix in anything. Ice cream usually, I guess, will make it better.
Have you ever heard of the nitro freeze ice cream? Like where they use like I think it's like nitrous oxide or something to be able to freeze the temperature of the ice cream to like a dry, like when it hits air,
Right.
it starts steaming or starts like kind of
Yeah,
like that chill factor.
that's what's crazy. Scientific aspect of it is probably the coolest part.
And it's weird too, like you see, like if you look on the internet or something like craziest ice creams, cones or something. I do prefer it in a bowl, but like you'll see one like some dude's holding an ice cream cone the size of like maybe his hand, and then like or like the inside of his hand. Then the whole entire ice cream on top is like the size of his head. I'm like, it doesn't fit. I don't understand. Like it's gonna fall off. Like I don't understand why they do that, but I guess that's part of the experience. I mean, any movie that has like a bad moment on like a beach or something, some dude drops his ice cream cone on the floor, and then there's like a sad like kind of
Right.
moment in the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, the extreme ice cream fad, like the almost like Costco size ice cream is it's always funny to see people's faces when
Well, have you ever thought about kind of creating a new way for the ice cream to kind of be able to get it out there? It seems like using the old store methods is a little bit kind of old age. Have you started using anything from new age, like maybe using social media or trying to promote it that way?
yeah, we do. We use social media almost exclusively to put things out there, pictures, and, promoting new flavors, different events.
Well, if you own a food business in general, that's like the capital market for it. Like if you use social media, I mean, how many pictures do you see of people putting up pictures of their food? That's like every single picture
exactly.
on Instagram. You see some dude eating like I saw literally a picture the other day. Some dude had like crab meat mixed in with like a mac and cheese, and it was like the drippiest, gooeyest mac and cheese in the world with like crushed up breadcrumbs in it. And like it was all over Instagram. Dude had like 50,000 followers. I'm like, if you make a badass ice cream cone, like let's say you get a vanilla topped with like tiny Reese's cups mixed with like chocolate sprinkles and a drizzle of caramel syrup on top of it, and then just have it dripping down the cone. You take a picture of that, put it up, you're getting like 1,000 likes immediately. I mean, people love to see that stuff.
Oh yeah, putting those things out there, and yeah, you want to put things out that people are going to want to take pictures of and share, and just kind of widening that net of where that one picture can go.
How do you usually come up with your ice cream ideas? Do you just think of a bunch of different things to toss together? Do you randomly get it like inspiration? It hits you like that. Like for me, I randomly just be sitting there. I'm like, I wonder if I did this and that, and then I wonder how that would taste.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just kind of mindlessly watching TV, and all of a sudden you'll see something on TV that sparks uh, some kind of weird flavor combination. Like, yeah, maybe we'll try that next time. It's definitely changed the way that I go to the supermarket or any kind of market now, looking at different things and wonder if I could put that in ice cream. Wonder what would go well with that. Different ice creams.
Yeah, you just being around it in general, you probably look at ice cream a whole different way than a lot of people do. Like when you're picking out certain things in the store, what are you exactly analyzing? Like for me, I always look at the protein content, I always look at the calories when it comes to like getting a healthy ice cream. What do you typically look at? Like do you look at the ingredients when it comes to how much of this is in that, how much of this is in this?
Some of it's going to be like just the different flavor combinations. Some of it's going to be texture, what kind of texture it adds to the ice cream. Um, if you have a sweet fruit, you're going to want to put something maybe a little not as sweet with it, or if you have something tart, putting something sweet to kind of soften that tartness.
I want to see someone create an ice cream flavor that's vanilla ice cream, but not like a vanilla bean, but use real actual coffee beans, sprinkle it up on top, then add like a caramel drizzle or a maple syrup drizzle to it. Dude, blowing your mind out of the gutter with that one.
I will. I'll write that one down.
I'm like, there's so many different combinations you can do. And if you honestly just walk down any like when you walk around the ice cream aisle, instead of just picking out like a basic ice cream, just look at all the condiments they have. I mean, from different types of jams to different types of seas or toppings that can go on top of it. I still think it's nuts if you put sprinkles on there. I was just never a fan of them, but I mean, the amount of combinations you can add to ice cream is pretty insane. I mean, if I was gonna own if I was gonna own my own ice cream store, I would probably just start off with an ice cream truck because it seems like everybody knows that. We all know the jingle. We all have heard it before. Immediately when you hear even the sound of it, you get hit with a wave of nostalgia and you want to run down the street with like your parents' money.
I always compare our little shop to a food truck a lot of times because we are not very big, and the space behind the counter is about the size of a food truck. We're just not mobile.
Have you, I mean, at one point, like even with this falling into your lap, did you think you were going to go down this route? I mean, didn't you have anything else in mind that you wanted to do? I mean, I can't, even if it falls into your lap, like, why are you deciding to still stay into it?
It is a very good creative outlet. Not only the flavors, but just keeping the shop the way we want it, run the way we want it. This last year was spent mostly kind of learning the business and figuring out how exactly things are going to work. And now I feel like we're trying to spread our wings more and make more connections in the community and partner with other companies. So, yeah, just try to spread not only ice cream, but
Well, mostly if you look at any type of ice cream shop or any type of ice cream advertising, a lot really has to go into like, you want to have a mascot for your place as well. It seems like that's always a big thing when it comes to like those types of shops. Like, whether you got like an ice cream like Mr. Softy or something, you have a character, the State Puff Marshmallow guy, like, oh, eating an ice cream on the front. I mean, that's what you got to do really when you market stuff. And first of all, trying to get your ice cream out there. And like, if you have your own shop that creates its own ice cream, start incorporating in places like, I don't know, like do events, start helping out at organizations, things where people can try your stuff and then get the taste of it and decide to go look for themselves. Because most of the time, people don't want to break off their original thing. So going to a new store, going to something like that is usually not the norm for a lot of people to experience. But if you are like, let's say you're at a football event or something, you're handing out ice cream samples. That's going to get so much attention to your business on the factor of people are already there for a game, and then now there's this thing that's included with it.
Right. Yeah. We've actually started doing that this winter. We're at the local farmers market. We have an indoor farmers market, and where we can just kind of connect with a lot more people and give out samples and have people try different things, letting them know about our shop, taking suggestions from them. What would they like to see us try to do, and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
create your own flavors. I mean, that's probably the most popular thing out there. People like being able to choose a flavor that's already created, but creating your own, there's just some type of magic behind it. The same you probably experience creating your own ice cream flavors. You're sitting there tossing a bunch of stuff together, and then when it actually works, like, wow, this is amazing. I feel so proud of myself. People love that when they get to create their own ice cream because they're going to love it every single time. I don't know one person that has made something out of their own head creativity wise and hated it. Me, I could take if it's my idea, I don't care what it is. It could be brick, it could be sand, it could be whatever. I'll eat it and I'll love it, even if it doesn't taste good to others. I'm like, I made it. It's my idea. It's going to taste good. You immediately basically trick yourself into thinking that it is good. And that's the same thing with self creation ice cream. You can sit there, put nothing but gummy bears, Twizzlers, freaking Pop Rocks, whatever the hell you want to call it, all into an ice cream flavor. You'll eat it and be like, this is delicious. Like, next you know, you're having a stomach ulcer in the hospital, but you're like, it was so good. Like, it wasn't. You're hurting yourself. Like, but I created it.
Yeah, we try not to go too crazy with things like that. We did a contest last year where, actually not last year, this last month, where like somebody could win a chance to come in and create their own ice cream. We'll help them make it.
Well, I mean, you even got the perfect outlet too with social media. All you got to do is find a couple of food reviewers, show them, your ice cream, show them the types of flavor combinations, let them review it. Next thing you know, you're getting publicity for your shop as well. I mean, we look at all these places that have like a food challenge. You ever thought about doing a food challenge for your shop, like where someone can come in, try the challenge, and if they win, they get their name on the wall, a picture of themselves, and a T-shirt. These are things that are going to attract to your business when you're a local store, such as like, eating like a 3-foot pizza slice or something, or getting your name on the wall for eating 10 wings in a certain amount of time because they're like super spicy. It's the same thing with ice cream, eating a gallon of ice cream or something in a matter of whatever, a certain time limit or a certain type of flavor that's kind of hard for people to eat, you know, that's going to create more publicity too. And with the whole food reviewing aspect, we live in a world now where, taking pictures of your food is the trend. You can literally get so many Instagram followers just by the whatever a picture of something you eat, whether it's the art of plating that really makes it beautiful, or whether it's just like this gooey mess. You could totally capitalize the market using social media to be able to get food reviewers in your area. I mean, you're in Indiana, there's got to be multiple food reviewers out in Indiana that are just looking for something to post. You create something like a monstrous glob, like State Puff Marshmallow Man versus the Kool-Aid guy, if they got into a brawl or something, and next thing you know, you got this amazing ice cream baby where people are loving it and enjoying it and then getting more publicity to your shop.
Yeah. Yeah, we've thought about doing, just certain kind of ice cream. Come in, get this, get your picture taken, get put out there on Facebook, Instagram, that kind of stuff. Oh, last year we did around Halloween. We did an ice cream that had like crickets and ants in it.
Like legit crickets and ants?
Legit crickets and ants.
Where the hell? What are you just out in your backyard? Like, I wonder what this would be in an ice cream.
No, yeah, just looked it up online uh, and found a distributor that sends you a pound of roasted crickets. And I was like, yeah, we'll throw that in there.
They
See
gotta
if
be,
people will eat it.
they gotta be roasted, not grilled.
You don't want the grilled.
Now we got this one flavor coming out. It's called tapeworm ice cream. It's filled with tapeworms. It's a slimming ice cream. You've heard of grapefruit being slimming. Try our tapeworm ice cream. I just think it's so interesting when it comes to the amount of like capabilities you're seeing the world go to when it comes to food. Like it's becoming so popular, even though people want to eat healthy, they still like seeing the most like I guess bedridden stuff when it comes to just like gooey caramel with fluffed up marshmallow, peanut butter, and every possible like dessert, whatever chocolate creation all thrown into one and mixed into a shake or something. It's so fun, and I mean they are appetizing to look at. I mean, I will admit I get lost in a lot of those photos on Instagram of people putting up like a giant ice cream cone on like a chocolate bar, and dude, it gets insane when it comes to food. I think that's where people's creativity truly lies.
Absolutely. That's the one thing about ice cream. It's no matter how much you do to it, how much you change it, and how much you add to it. I think it all always just boils down to the nostalgia of ice cream. Takes you back to your childhood.
Yeah, I've eaten snow off the ground, even if it was yellow snow. Well, I really appreciate you coming out and doing the podcast, Jason. Is there anything you want to promote, such as your site, where people can find your ice cream shop, where people can maybe look at some of your ice cream creations as well?
Yeah, so we do have a website, wcmicrocreamery.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, West Central Micro-creamery, and we try to post something about every day, some kind of creation or something about the shop. So
Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Out of the Blank podcast, and stay tuned for our next episode.